Good morning, all of you. Yesterday, we have completed our topic phases of growth. Today, we are going to start our another topic of this topic, that is conditions for growth. So, now we will start. The different environmental and physiological conditions necessary for the growth include water, supply of nutrients, temperature, oxygen, carbon nitrogen ratio, that is CN ratio, gravitational force, light, and growth hormones. First of all, I will tell you in one or two words what are the uses of all these things. So, first one is water. Water is necessary for various biochemical reactions in the plant body. Supply of nutrients is necessary for the hormonal changes and other proper growth so that there will be no deficiency of any nutrient. Temperature is necessary to maintain the range of water absorption and other processes into the plant body. Oxygen is necessary for germination as well as for respiration. CN ratio is necessary for maintaining the absorption of nutrients from the soil or the atmosphere. Gravitational force determines the apical growth as well as root development of the plant. Light is responsible for the photosynthesis and growth hormones are required for various hormonal changes in the plant body. So now we will discuss them in brief. First one is water. Water is essential component of protoplasm. Protoplasm is the part, it is a liquid like substance present in the cell of the plant body and maintains turgidity of cell. It maintains turgidity as well as it gives a proper shape to a cell. It acts as aqueous medium for biochemical reaction. You know that aqueous medium plays a very important role in any chemical reaction as well as biochemical reaction. Second one is microelements and macroelements. These are the types of nutrients. These nutrients are required for the proper growth of plant. You can see deficiency in various plants, okay, of various elements. That means they are nutrient deficiency, okay. It may cause dwarfness or reddishness of leaves, etc. Third one is optimum temperature. Optimum temperature means average temperature necessary for the plant growth. It ranges between 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. The optimum temperature of plant body is 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, that is 298 to 303 Kelvin, and of animal body is 37 degrees Celsius. Okay, next one is oxygen. Oxygen is essential for respiration and release of energy. Okay, oxygen plays very important role in the respiration and also the energy releasing processes. The next one is light is very much essential for germination of seed and photosynthesis. You know that germination and seed and photosynthesis processes cannot occur in the absence of light. Okay. The sixth one is gravitational force decides the direction of growth of shoot and root. Okay, gravitational force opposes the apical dominance by increasing the lateral branches growth. So it is also important in shoot development as well as root development, that is increases the length of root, so the roots go deeper into the soil and it helps in the absorption of sap from the surrounding soil. Now we will study the growth in plants can be measured in which terms. Okay, so the first one is increasing number, that is increase in the number of cell produced is used for the measurements of the increase in the number of seeds per the time. It means how much seeds are newly produced in a given time. For example, single maize root apical meristem can give rise to more than 17,500 new cells per hour. Here the estimated time is 1 hour. Okay. Now increasing surface area of leaf. Surface area phenomenon can be used for the counting of the leaf size. Example, growth of dorsiventral leaf. Okay. Next one is increase in length. Increasing length is used for the measuring of internode size or the elongation of root or growth of pollen tube. Next one is increase in the volume of a fruit. Example, in watermelon flower, ovary after fertilization increases in its size per volume by up to 35, how much? 3,50,000 times. Okay. You know the baby watermelon is very small in size, but the ripened watermelon is very great than the baby watermelon in size. So its ratio is up to 3,50,000 times. It increasing growth of shoot is measured in the girth system. Okay, increasing girth of shoot. It also determines the age of the plant. Next one is increasing dry weight of organ. For example, for doing the weight of the dry wood for burning, this phenomenon is used. Now we will study various methods of the measurement of linear growth of stem and radicle. Okay, first one is direct method. In this direct method, it is the easiest method so that it can be used by measuring the length etc. by the ruler or the scale. It can be easily measured with the help of ordinary measuring scale. It is the simple method. Second one is horizontal microscope. It is used for measure growth in fields for calculating the productivity of the crop and also the yield. Third one is oxenometer. This equipment is used for precise measurement of linear growth of shoot. These are of two types, that is arc oxenometer and Pfeffer's oxenometer. P is silent in this Pfeffer's word. The last one is crescograph. You should remember that crescograph was discovered by J.C. Bose, that is Jagdish Chandra Bose. It records primary growth very accurately. Primary growth means starting growth of the plant, means growth of radicle, plumule, etc. It magnifies growth up to 10,000 times, giving information of growth per second. Okay, and it was developed by J.C. Bose. So we will continue in our next video. Till that, bye.